Did you have your own villa? Did you like go in the pool?
Hell yeah. I am the most pretentious douchebag in the world and don't really watch a lot of TV.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, write that down. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Sam.
It's very good to meet you.
It's so nice
How
to
are
meet you.
you?
Wow. Hi. Yes. No.
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 How are you?
Oh, good. I'm great. I'm like, this is so surreal.
I know.
For
I
me.
can't believe it. This is
Yeah.
the coolest thing. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've done an unfathomable number of interviews over the past few months, and nothing is as cool as this because it's the least shallow,
Yeah.
most
We get to just sit here in this giant room,
I know.
and I've been watching this thing for years.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
when
Huge
I was-
fan of it.
When I was in college, in acting school, I was always watching these videos when I needed something
Yeah.
to make me be like, okay, I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I
and-
totally agree.
Yeah, so it's so trippy being here, and I'm so happy that I'm with you.
Me too. I'm so happy I'm with you.
You were so brilliant in this show. It must just be a crazy whirlwind.
Yeah.
You had this beautiful innocence, and you just made the audience love you so much, and it really paid off in the end because we were so like devastated when we thought that you were
Dead.
gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just saw God. I am the most pretentious douchebag in the world and don't really watch a lot of TV. And so I hadn't seen your show until I got the opportunity to do this with you. My girlfriend had seen it and was raving about it. And whenever I hear people rave about things, I'm always like, it's too cool for me. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. You know what I mean? And it was unbelievably good. As someone who loves movies and like the art of crafting a story in 2 hours and how you do that, that's like been top of my mind my whole life. And it's just like the best work is being made in television right now. And it's
Totally.
amazing. And the way Monsters is structurally laid out is amazing. The way that it jumps the timeline is amazing. The way that it changes perspectives is amazing. And you are amazing. Like unfathomable.
You shot them.
You're so captivating and innocent, but also maybe not. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like, there's so many different
Complicated.
ways you could interpret everything you're doing, and it's so difficult and subtle, and
Thank you.
nailed it.
It is so sweet. Well, maybe we should go backward.
Yeah.
Like
let's
go.
Let's reintroduce ourselves.
Let's go
this
to
is
the
our
beginning.
first time meeting.
Yeah.
I want
But
to
I feel like
know-
we've known each other.
I do too.
Like you, kind of like are my brother.
I know.
We could be brothers. I could have been.
I feel like we should have been in each other's shows.
Yeah. Like it should have just been us.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So where did it all start? Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up with two parents who were both actors. Do you have actor parents as well, or parents in the industry?
I don't have actor parents, but my grandfather was a producer.
Okay, cool.
And was in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I constantly get the question.
Nepo baby.
Yeah, nepo baby, and then also like, what have you learned? And and I feel like that's such a complicated question because it's like they're always like, what questions did you ask your parents about preparing for this role? And I'm like, it's
Did you ask them questions? Did you talk to them?
no.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I am the same. I was in theater. Like I grew up doing
yeah.
musicals and stuff in my community, and I did theater in high school, and then it came down to go to college. And I was like, okay, this is just what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It never really had much to do with my connections to
Yeah.
the industry. They just happened to
Yeah.
be there, I think. Was that the same for you?
My whole thing was my parents really didn't want me to be an actor, which
Oh.
I totally get.
That's a
'cause it's
normal
difficult.
thing. I feel like that's a thing that
Yeah.
is common.
Yeah. I don't know if I would want my kid to be an actor. I mean, it's a mentally tough
Yeah.
career to be in, and it's fucking amazing. And even if I had no success, I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah.
I would want to be doing it. But yeah, they really didn't want me to do it, which I totally understand.
And of course,
And then I like,
sorry, I'm
Yeah.
doing it, guys.
yeah, exactly. And I got an audition. I got really lucky in an audition that I got through my school's like drama teacher. But where'd you grow up in LA? What neighborhood?
I grew up in the Valley, so like
Okay.
Woodland Hills.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of theater.
I did, yeah. Since I was 5 years old,
Yeah.
I was just always doing. We had like 2 musicals a year.
Yeah. 2 musicals a
Yeah.
year.
And
Amazing.
I sort of, it's weird. I see like my life as a constant, like, you start a show or you get cast and
Yeah.
you have the rehearsals and then you do the show and then it's over and
Yeah.
okay, and then what's the next one? And then you go again. And I feel like that's sort of like a recurring theme in my life now of like, oh, you do all these amazing projects and you do one and it's beautiful and you meet all these people and you have all of these amazing friends and then it ends and then
Yeah.
you have to find the next one and
Yeah,
I'm
it
just always-
sucks, that
it
aspect
does
of
kind of
it.
suck when it ends, but yeah, I always look forward to the next thing and
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like my conundrum is always that I want to hang out with the people that I work with afterwards. Because of course there's
Camaraderie. that you
bond
make,
that
yeah.
you form with your co-stars.
Yeah.
And then like they all always live in LA and I live in New York. So I'm wondering, do you feel like when you wrap a job normally it's like, oh, I'll see you at the bar on Monday?
Yeah, well, I mean, Ari and I got really close, but she lives in New York,
Oh, she does?
so and I'm in LA.
Well, another
But
excuse for you to
I
get
know.
over, visit.
I know, and I love New York.
Yeah.
I have just the most romantic memories of like auditioning
Yeah.
and going up in the elevators with my sides and getting
Yeah.
into the room with, all the other people that look like you or,
Yeah.
just,
I know the feeling. I did
Yeah.
that like 2 days ago.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
gnarly, but it's awesome.
yeah. Wait, so I want to circle back to your parents.
Yeah.
So how were you like, no, I'm gonna do this, mom and dad, sorry. And then how did they react to that? And
Yeah.
were you doing stuff in school? Did you do any theater?
I did. It sounds like you probably did more. I did all the school plays that I could do. I never really did any extracurricular stuff. I was just really into movies and watching movies. And
Oh, cool.
I initially got like a Criterion Channel subscription
Nice.
to impress this girl that I was courting. And her whole thing was like,
Was she like, I like,
yeah.
yeah, I like genre.
She was like, I wear berets and I'm really
Yeah.
into France at the moment. And I was like, okay.
Some
I can
French
get
film.
behind that. Yeah. And so then I had a period of just like ultimate pretension and then like actually sort of fell in love with cinema. And I've always loved acting, but it was mainly like when I got that audition, I was like, it was for a Noah Baumbach movie. And I was like, this is
for White Noise.
White Noise. Yeah. So I was like, this is an opportunity to be on the set of one of the greatest directors of all time.
Yeah, and Greta Gerwig and
Yeah, and Adam Driver and all these people. I was like, my film nerd brain was like exploding.
yeah.
And then when I actually did the job, I really fell in love with the acting part of it. But yeah, my parents were also like, they really wanted me to go to college, which I totally understand. And
Not go to college?
I went to college for 1 semester.
Great. I love that.
Yeah, and I learned a lot. And I had
Yeah.
a great time. And I stayed living right next to the campus in Harlem for like 2.5 years afterwards. I loved it up there. But
You got some odd jobs.
I did some odd jobs, worked at a couple
Nice.
restaurants, and chilled on my couch a fair amount, waiting for jobs to roll in.
Speaking of auditions,
Yeah.
let's talk about how you landed this crazy part. The part that everybody
Changed my
would
life.
dream of getting and that has changed your life.
Yeah. Well, I fear it's not going to be as interesting as you think it is, because it's
Did it?
literally, it's like,
Did a self-tape,
did a self-tape,
did a callback,
did a callback,
booked it.
booked it. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
So your callback was with Mike.
My callback was with Mike. His writing is just unbelievably natural and
Yeah.
real. And not that other writing that I've worked with in the past isn't, but like there's something that I specifically love about the way that he writes. I didn't have to do any work to prepare for the audition, really. Like,
Yeah.
it just sort of rolls off the tongue. He was so good at giving little micro adjustments in the thing. And then, he was in the audition being like, yeah, so, like, when we're in Thailand, like, I feel like we should, like, go on jet skis or
Oh
something.
my God, that's
I was like,
so spot on.
like, but yeah, and then I got it. But how about your audition process? What was it like? I have a feeling it's gonna be more interesting than
I mean,
mine.
yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
Self-tape, callback,
Yeah.
had a screen test, had a chemistry read.
Okay.
Which those are always really interesting.
With
with
Nicholas,
Nicholas,
yeah.
You kind of get a sense of what this could be.
And was that on Zoom or was that?
No, it was in person.
Oh, great.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Yeah.
The Zoom stuff is
Killer.
strange. It's strange.
It's so
Was your
strange.
callback?
It was
Zoom?
on Zoom because I was in England. It was the day after Christmas.
Oh, what a
So I had a
great Christmas
I
present.
know.
Did you know before New Year's? Or no?
I knew before New Year's. Yeah.
Wow.
I had a great, fun New Year's party. What's Ryan's vibe, Ryan Murphy? Like, what was your first impression of him, and then how did that evolve as you worked with him? Like,
Well, we actually didn't know that he was going to be there. They didn't tell
really?
us. No. We just
Okay.
thought it was going to be the casting
Casting director.
directors and he was not going to be there.
Yeah.
But then he just waltzes in the room. We're like waiting there, panicking, like
Yeah.
so nervous.
Of course.
Pacing back and forth. He's like, do you want to, Nicholas is like, do you want to run the size? I was like, no.
I can't do anything.
I can't.
Yeah.
He walks in, he's like, hello. And is like, how much do you know? And I was like, I know everything. And then we had like
Wait, wait.
amazing, yeah. He's
How
like-
much do you know?
Yeah, he was like, how much do you know? And I was like,
Referring to the line?
yeah, no, referring to just the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, I know everything. And Nicholas was like, I know everything. And then we sat down and we had this just amazing conversation about it
Yeah.
all. And he asked us questions and we told him our thoughts and it was like 30-minute conversation, which was so nice to kind of,
Before you even read the
yeah,
script? Oh,
before
that's
we even
so
did it.
nice.
Yeah, it kind of like really calmed the nerves and
Yeah.
stuff. And it felt really special. And then we went upstairs and did the callback. And it was like for 2 hours. We did like 3 scenes and then we had like just conversations in between. And it was very collaborative. And yeah, it was really one of the best like audition experiences I've ever had, I think.
What
Yeah.
what an amazingly poetic first thing for him to say to you.
I know,
out of
right?
context. How
What
much
do you know? How much
what
do you know? How much do you know?
That's amazing.
Well, and I just,
you were like,
I know
all-
everything.
all of it.
Well, and yeah, because I've been with this story for so long.
Yeah.
I auditioned for, my second audition ever was for the Law and Order series about
Okay.
them in 2017.
no way.
My second audition ever. And I tested for that and I didn't get it.
Okay.
And then I also had an audition for the Lifetime movie that they were doing the same year.
You're
And
kidding
I
me.
tested for that and I didn't get it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I just felt like this insane cosmic universe-y
Connection to these Yeah.
thing that was like, I have to play this part. I have
Wow.
to do this. And yeah, it was just that immense like empathy that you feel for a person. And
Yeah.
I just knew I had to do it. And then 7 years later, it came back around.
Ever since the reading of the will, I felt worse. That's why I went to see Dr. Azil. And I know I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry that I did, but I can't kill him, Lyle. I can't.
That is crazy fate shit
Right?
that
yeah,
I never really
it's
hear of.
Weird.
That's
And then there's all these weird parallels, like, we both went to Calabasas High School.
the same high school?
Well, when they moved, they were first in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And on the East Coast.
Right.
And then they moved to
LA.
California. I think when Eric was a sophomore in high school, and he went to Calabasas. And
Right.
So there's all these weird parallels, and
Whoa.
yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So it's been a long ride.
I mean, there's so many things we could talk about here. We probably don't have time, but like, did you watch tons of videos to try and
Yeah.
impersonate the way he speaks and the way he walks? What level of impersonating were you doing? Because it's always interesting, like where you draw the
Yeah,
line
where the
between
line
the
is.
like the impersonation of the person, but then also like building your character, because part of what I love so much about the show is that there is also a lot of ambiguity about what's going on. So you kind of have to make some hard and fast choices. And
Yeah.
the way you did it, I thought was amazing. And how did you make those decisions, you know?
I watched everything I could.
Good,
I listened to him every night before I went to bed. I had him on in the car when I was driving. I really did want to get his voice and his mannerisms because they all further support that he was, in fact, being sexually abused by his father. I wanted all of that behavior to support that. I know there's so many perspectives, and I think they're in there because a lot of people had all of these different perspectives on the case at the time, but I always wanted the audience to sympathize with him. And
of course.
Yeah. And that was sort of like my goal and my through line.
I am not a real person. You
are
can't
a
be.
real
When the
person.
only man you want to love does that to you, you stop being real.
You are real.
Stop saying that.
Finding all of that behavior, moving like him, talking like him, it sort of fueled my own sort of drive and passion and made me feel even more emotionally connected when I was doing those things, which ultimately when you're, doing it for 6 months, they really start to sink in. And then that's the greatest thing about TV, isn't it? You just you do it for so long, you get to, you have so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me turn it back onto you. You and Patrick had such an interesting dichotomy, and I'm just curious how you guys created that.
Part of the nature of that show that makes it such a dream as an actor is that you are living with the people that are your family in the show, and like you're spending all your time with them. They've shut the hotels down, so there's no one else in there to even like distract you. The time difference to New York was 12 hours. So like I was hardly in touch with anyone.
So you're really like in that bubble.
You're really in that bubble, and you feel like your character in a lot of ways because you're sleeping in the same bed that your character, like the hotel rooms that we were staying in are identical to the hotel rooms
Ones
that
that
the
you were
characters
shooting in.
were in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you have your own villa? Like
Yeah, I had my
you were,
villa.
you were like chilling in your
Really
own
nice.
like villa.
I would have
Did
a
you have?
spritz every once in a while.
Yeah. Do you like go in the pool?
Hell yeah.
It's like
Love
my
the
little
pool.
Love Island. Okay.
I love Love Island. But yeah, we hung out a lot and we talked with Mike a lot about, like, also with the three of us, the siblings, sort of getting the dynamic of them two on sort of opposite ends of this spectrum of morality.
Yeah, you and Sarah Catherine Hook had such a beautiful chemistry too. I loved your relationship. There was just such a sweetness to the both of you that I really enjoyed watching. And then her sort of transition at the end.
I
was
know. She was amazing.
She crushed that last
really crushed
scene.
it. And Patrick crushed it in the last episode. I mean, yeah, the three of us are such good friends now. We really...
I mean, lifetime, like once in a lifetime.
Seriously.
Experience.
Yeah. I think that's one of those things that we just got really close and it made it a lot easier.
I really don't feel like going home, like, ever.
But it's interesting, I want to touch back on what you were saying about, like, that you need to like your character and sympathize with your character.
Yeah.
Because lots of people in interviews and just friends of mine and whatever being like, your character's kind of a creep. Having to...
So funny. I didn't feel that way at all.
Thank God.
I didn't feel that way at all.
I'm happy.
And at the end when you're like, I'm just a people pleaser. I just want to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Like, we're a family of narcissists. Like,
yeah.
I fully was like, yes, that's what this is. Like, yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. What do people say?
Well, they're just, saying that he's like a sort of sexual deviant of some sort. And I just think, regardless of what the reality of any situation is, and especially in your case as well, it's like this person killed people.
Well, it's the why.
It's the why, but it's also, let's say they were murderers who killed in cold blood and there was no reason for it. Or let's say my character is just a pervert, you know what I mean? You still have to find a way as an actor to love your character. Because that's the only way that it's sympathetic to the audience.
1000%.
And I get really protective over my characters.
As you should. I feel like that's the only way.
Yeah.
It's the only way in.
Yeah.
And then it's the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell watching you how much you love Erik. And that's a beautiful thing, not only for the facts of the situation and that I think he deserves that love from you and from the world, but also for you as an actor. It's just so cool. You just embodied that,
Thank you.
Can you answer the question?
Yes. My dad had been molesting me.
I find it hard to do it if I don't care.
Yeah.
If I don't feel something.
Because you always care for yourself. Even when you're being an asshole, you sympathize with yourself.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you know what I mean? I mean, hopefully not too much if you're being a real asshole.
Yeah. Well, don't be an asshole.
Yeah. Take that, write that down.
So to bring it around to death, what was that like? And you have such an amazing person you're with. I mean,
I know. He's amazing.
How was that day?
It was really, really emotional. Like before going to Thailand, actors, you know, coming back from a shoot and being like, I really like lost myself in the character. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know. Like I was looking in the mirror and I was like, who is that guy? I'm like, fuck you, you know. But then I was like, when I was there, I was like, actually, I kind of get it now. When you're doing it for that long, as you say, you know, I really felt like when we were shooting those scenes, I felt like he was my dad, you know? Jason Isaacs was bringing such sort of realness to that scene. That moment, I think, felt the most real out of anything in the show. Because there's also parts of the show that are a little bit tongue-in-cheek and self-referential and funny, but that was really like, I was like, I'm in this moment and I'm dying. And it was a great feeling to feel as an actor when you have fully convinced yourself, with the help of your scene partner, obviously, of the reality of his situation.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I mean, I really thought you were gone.
I did too.
I was at the TV, I was just like, they can't be doing this right now.
I know.
They can't be doing this. And I think that's a testament to, I mean, I've said this before already, but that's a testament to the work that you did all the way leading up to that.
Yeah.
We loved you so, you were the maybe the only really likable character because everybody else is such,
See, that's
I mean,
what I love to
we
hear.
love everybody because they're dicks, but.
Of course. I know exactly what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
Don't you want to go to the pool?
Yeah, well, I'll come with you to the temple, and then I'll come meet you at the pool after.
Okay.
This is totally off topic. I feel like I have to ask you about the one take episode.
Yeah.
I am sure you have answered a million questions about this, so I'm sorry, but I have to. First of all, how you did it, indulge me. I haven't read anything about it. Obviously, you memorized it all like a play. Like, how many takes did you do? Did you guys rehearse? What was the deal?
I got that script when I got the job, so I had it for months. So I just...
Because they knew you were gonna need time to fucking memorize it.
Yeah, I had like 8 months. I just read it every day. I wrote it out.
Yeah.
And then I just would visualize what he was saying and create those images so clearly that when we went to do it, it would emotionally affect me. And we did 8 takes, 4 on the first day, 4 on the second day, and they chose the very last one.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was this, you said 8 months, so this was like near the end of the shoot?
I got cast in June.
Yeah.
And then I shot that in, I think, mid to end of March.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a really long time with it. And it really was like the backbone of my whole character. That was my backstory. I didn't really have to write one. Like they wrote it for me. So I felt so lucky, and Ari and I had gotten so close at that point that we were so comfortable with each other.
And what was the vibe between you and Ari Grainer? Like, were you improvising some of it, or was it just entirely, you guys had it fucking down?
We really had it down.
Which is, I'm sorry to interrupt, but amazing. Like, it's amazing to memorize any of that. Like, I'm so bad with lines. Like, that I really want to do a play next, and the idea of memorizing all those lines is terrifying. But it feels like improvisational. Like, it's
written that way.
So natural. I mean, you just can't take your eyes off it, because it's like, you know, you're stuttering and you're stumbling over your words. And I think the fact that that was the last take just goes to show even more what a masterful performance it was, because you it was all intentional. You know what I mean? None of it was bullshit.
And it really is a testament to the writing and to Ari. And she did have one improv line in that last take, and it's towards the end when she's kind of having a moment and is finally getting a chance to speak to him, and he's not looking at her, and she says, look at me. She's talking to him, and she says, look at me. And that kind of caught me. I love
that.
those
I
moments.
just got chills.
She didn't do any of that. Not because of you, look at me. Not because of you, but because of her.
I don't like planning. I don't like running lines.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Me too.
Yeah.
Totally.
I just love.
Gets stale.
Yeah. I love the spontaneity and the. How do you memorize your lines?
I hardly do.
We should ask like some actory.
Yeah, we should. How do I memorize my lines? It depends on the kind of writing, but normally I'm that guy that does it like in the morning in the makeup chair.
But see, that's kind of great because then, if you know your person, then the words are kind of just they're so fresh. You say them like you're saying them for the first time. Yeah. I always try to think them.
Yeah.
And memorize by reading and like thinking them out here.
Yes. Yeah, you don't read them out loud.
No.
Me neither. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Which is helpful because I think when you go into it, they can come out in a really fresh, new way.
You have to take it to the extreme either way. Either you like basically don't memorize them at all, or you have them down like a play. If the dialogue is complicated enough that you need to, or if it's in a different accent or something that you kind of need to have it really by heart, then what I do is like really run it to death.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, you know when you like
running a dishwasher.
yes. Like, you know when you like say a joke 1,000 times and like the first couple times it's funny and then it's not funny and then it's not funny again and then suddenly it starts to sort of get funny again. That's how I feel about it. It's like the Family Guy bit.
Do you watch a lot of, oh no, you already said you don't watch a lot of TV.
But I watch like
cartoons.
I watch cartoons. I love like Family Guy. I love Rick and Morty.
Love it.
But I do watch TV. Now I'm getting more in, since this show and like everything in my life has been about TV. Yeah.
I have an interesting question.
Yeah, tell me.
You guys entered the culture.
Yeah.
How has that dynamic been for you? Like, I know from when it happened with us, like there's so much energy.
Yeah.
And how have you been handling that? Is it overwhelming? Is it exciting? Are you okay? Are people like going crazy? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so it's interesting, like, when The White Lotus was coming out, for basically the entire duration of its airing, I was in North Carolina shooting a movie.
Oh, great.
I think was kind of perfect.
Perfect.
Because I went back to New York to do a photo shoot for one weekend while it was coming out, and it was like truly mayhem. Like, it's not like that anymore. You know, it's so funny the way it all sort of goes away so quickly. But like when I was there for that one weekend, it was like I really couldn't walk down the street without being totally sort of attacked. It's amazing to have people come up to you and be like, I love what you're doing. Like, what an insane thing to have random people be like, your work was meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of unfathomable to me, but it's also...
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's invasive of your privacy, and it makes you feel like there's eyes on you, even when there's not.
Yeah.
And that's embarrassing.
That's the funniest thing.
Like,
Sometimes you're like, wait, do they know? Are they here?
I had someone come up to me the other day, and she hands me her phone, and she's like, can we take a picture or something? And I'm like, sure, you know. And she's like, no, of me in front of this poster or something. I was like, oh my God, I'm the biggest dick in the world.
It happens, and it does kind of humble you, and it's really funny. I had it at the gym one time. Like, I was wearing a sweatshirt with like a brand, not very well-known brand, and this guy comes walking over to me, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And he's like, oh, hey, I know the guy who does that brand of that sweatshirt. Like, nice hoodie, man. And I was like,
you're like, have you seen Monsters?
Yeah, exactly.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
No? All right. That's...
Wait, but what's it been like for you? I mean, you have a few more months on me in terms of the experience.
That's why I was curious, because you have all of this energy, and it's so exciting, and you're going here, and you're doing these interviews, and you're doing all this stuff, and talking about it, and it's this heightened, like, energy and adrenaline, and then...
Yeah.
and then it's kind of gone, and it's like, whoa. It's like this shift is kind of, it's difficult sometimes to manage, and you have to, I'm so lucky that I have my brothers, my partner, and I have good friends around me, my family, to kind of just be with and keep you kind of grounded. And on the floor, because it's just, it gets to be intense.
Yeah. What's your experience been like with the social media response?
Luckily, I don't have social media.
Amazing.
Which has been a godsend.
Oh my God.
And I mean, I still find my ways to go. Like, people will send me stuff.
Of course.
And I'll do my own version of looking, but it's nice to sort of be away from it.
Yeah.
And also really entertaining at the same time to just see what these people come up with and how it sort of becomes a thing.
Yeah.
Like, the question I want to ask you is, you want to live in Taiwan?
He better be the best.
You do have a really good Parker Posey.
You think I do?
Yeah.
Well, I spent 7 months with her.
I know, and I was watching all of you guys do
Mine was the best.
I kind of do. I really thought you were the most committed. You have the face.
Thanks. I go for it, man.
Yeah. But yeah, Twink Death. So
my biggest problem is I'm a perfectionist.
yeah. Tell me about Twink Death.
I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm not on anything else. And on Instagram, only follow like soccer players.
Are you a soccer fan?
I'm a big soccer fan.
Oh, nice.
And like, are you?
No.
No.
Tennis.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I'm a big tennis fan. Who's your favorite tennis player?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I just like going and watching.
Yeah.
I've gone to 2 now. I'm going to the French Open.
Oh,
man.
man.
So excited for that.
You gotta play. My dad is an insane tennis player. You gotta play with him.
Oh my
So
God.
good.
Do you play?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. We should play. I used to be really good.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We should play.
I would love to.
Wait, okay.
But yeah, social media. I like all the memes and stuff.
It's fun.
It's funny, and it's like, it's such a specific and like weird thing. Like, it's funny. So much of what I know about the film industry comes from my parents, and when they were coming up, that obviously
Wasn't
didn't
there.
exist. It's an interesting new thing. More so than like film critics, it's like social media that defines the sort of reaction to something.
Well, and it makes it, that's like the whole thing of like entering the culture.
Yeah.
Like, that's what sort of makes it
exactly
a thing that people will be like, oh, everyone's talking about this. I got to go watch it.
But do you feel like you don't have social media like for the reason that it's like why not? Just because it's stressful and
I think I had it.
Yeah.
And I deleted it in 2018. And I just was comparing. I just compare myself too much, and it just makes me anxious and makes me. I just think I'm better off not having it and just.
It's
not
much
going.
cooler to not have it. I should probably get rid of it.
Like. This went by so fast.
I know.
Okay, wait.
It's so fun.
I want to ask this. What is your favorite thing about acting?
Maybe this means I'm a bad actor, but the
Not.
Thanks. The like probably total of like 4 minutes combined on a full movie shoot or television shoot where I feel like I am actually a different person. Like it's so little, like most takes, most days, most weeks on a shoot. It's very rare for me that I really like lose myself in the moment, if I'm being honest. I always sort of feel like I'm half in, half out, which is good because it allows me to like control what I'm doing for the story and everything. But for the few minutes that it actually feels like I'm like in a different person's body, it's so freeing and relaxing and magical.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your favorite thing?
I think it's just connection.
Yeah.
Really just like connecting with someone, and it's sort of unspoken, but it's like that same thing of those 4 minutes that on that one take that even if it's not the one that they use, there's a sort of like wires synergy kind of like thing that happens that you can't explain, but that you're looking at the other person and you're like, wow, we just like held hands and jumped off of a cliff together and flew and then landed on the other side. And
in a way that's sort of deeper than any normal
Yeah.
human interaction.
Yeah.
Which is also sort of scary.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We really get to connect with each other.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it too.
God, this has been so
This has been so fun. How
fun.
lucky are we? Thank you, everyone, for having us.
Piper, yes.
Piper.
Piper, yes. Not Nev. Dude,
Well,
this is so great.
goodbye.